The next thing down is sale type setup. Now within here we have a number of different sale types that handle about 99% of all applications you'll ever experience, but if there's additional ones you need to add in, you can always do that as well. Coming down to the search button, you'll see I got things like catering, delivery, dine-in, drive-through, pickup, and quick service. And within each one of these, you'll see that I've got my description from it. All right, so the sale type description, there's catering, there's delivery, dine-in, and so on. And there's also this cute little icon as well. This will be reflected across within the order screens as well to identify the particular sale type. All right, coming down below that, we have sale type price level. Must also configure within stations. Now remember the price levels within station setup I was identifying with? Well, in here, you can actually identify within here that on a per sale type basis, I want to force a specific price level. So in here, for example, dine-in would all use price level A, whereas for pickup, I might use price level B, which would be a different price, and price level C for delivery or takeout or whatever it's going to be, you know, for price level C. So you can force all these different price levels on a per sale type basis. And that way, for the cheeseburger, then, if I order it as dine-in, it'll be one price, takeout, it'll be another price, and delivery will be another price. Coming down the left-hand side, we have these check boxes here. The first one here says, allow sale type on web. Okay, that all has to do with the web-to-go system. And on here, when it comes to selecting what, do you want it for delivery or pickup, for example, then you would have this checked if you want to include dine-in. Now, obviously, for web-based ordering, you wouldn't do that, but you would, for pickup and delivery for web-based orders. In which case, then those sale types will show up on that screen. All right, the next thing down here, sale auth, no pre-auth. Okay, I just mentioned that in the previous thing that we were looking at. So on a per sale type basis, this will determine whether you want to include tipping on these charged transactions or not. The next thing down here is enforce member. So if I choose on this sale type, I need to have a member record associated to it. A member record would be things like, for example, a delivery. All right, so I am Scott, the customer, and I call up and I say, I want to order pizza, have it delivered to me, please. Well, you're going to need my name, my phone number, and my address anyway. So I'll be set up as a member on the system, and every subsequent time when I call up, then it'll be the same Scott that you're sending it to. And if that is the case, then on here, if it was delivery, for example, then I can select on enforce member, in which case then that means that if I select a delivery order, then the system will make sure that there is a member who's associated with that record. It will force that to be applied onto that check. Print member information. So along with this as well, here actually let me just come over to what actually uses it. Catering, delivery, there we go. Okay, so on here I've got enforce member, and then within this, print member information, which means when I print off the order that's being made for this delivery order, it will also include the member's name and address and driving directions as well. So all that information will be included on the slip. So this way, when I'm Scott, the pizza delivery guy, I can take a look at the slip, and it will have all of the information I need to deliver this pizza to the right guy at the right place. Enforce future order. Okay, so on this, if I have a certain, let's say delivery, for example, well, maybe not that, but maybe for catering, for example. If it was a catering order, catering would be a future order because I'm going to order 200 chicken salad sandwiches and 150 salads. And this is not going to be made within the next 10 minutes. It's going to be a catered order for a specific date and time, if that is the case. For catering, I may want to select on enforce future order, in which case then that will also mean that the system will be intuitive enough that it will say, when do you want this thing delivered? And so that's what that's for. Coming down below that, we have auto order item. On a per sale type basis, you can have the system automatically order something or apply it to the check. Now you'll see, for example, I got one down here, delivery. I got minimum charge. This is just an example, not necessarily the preferred one that I would use here, but I can have like a delivery surcharge, for example, or some other thing like that. Whereas if I select on this particular sale type, I want to include whatever. Okay, now a good example for delivery would be, for example, a condiment package. All right, I may have a condiment package For example, it has plastic knives, forks, and spoons, and little packets of the salt and pepper, for example. And I want to include that on every delivery order or every pickup order. So if that is the case, then what I can do is I can program this in here that when I select this particular sale type, order that condiment thing as well. Coming over to the right-hand side, we have delivery mode. Now remember the delivery order status form that I looked at, okay, where you've got the person who takes the delivery orders or takes the pickup orders, and you have drivers assigned to them and so on like that. That was covered back, I think, in our first or second session, where we were looking at deliveries and pickups and so on like that. In here, this is where you determine where these sale types will show up. Now, anything that we've pre-programmed in the system are properly programmed in here, so that delivery orders will show up on that screen by selecting on delivery. Pickup orders will show up within the pickup tab or selection within that particular screen as well. And if it's set to dine-in, then they will not even show up within that whole thing because they're dine-in orders. They're not applicable to any of that delivery pickup stuff. But if there's additional ones you program in, such as, for example, room service again. We don't have room service in there. So if there was something like room service would be a delivery setting for that. You may want to put that in so that when I select on room service, it'll show up in the delivery order taker screen, and from there the driver instead would be the delivery person who's going to take it up to that given room. Coming over to the right-hand side, we also have tax exemptions as well. So you have all applicable taxes based on these sale types, but certain sale types within certain regions, based on your local tax laws and so on, may be exempt from certain taxes. And so if that is the case, then you can identify within here that, if in the state of Rhode Island, then, the state, delivery orders are exempt from the state tax, for example, or a liquor tax or whatever it happens to be. And so I can put in these tax exemptions, and they will be automatically applied within the check based on this sale type. Coming down below that, we have print receipt location. Now, it defaults to local. So basically, when you print off the receipt, boom, here you go. Now, if I have something not so much for delivery, but let's say for catering, for example. All right, a catering order may be something really large, or maybe for a banquet hall. I'm going to be spending, let's say, minimum of $500 on this thing, or if it's for my daughter's wedding, and I'm going to spend 20 grand on this particular banquet or whatever it happens to be, then on here you can actually have the receipt print out to a separate location, a different printer channel than what it would conventionally show up within here. The reason for this is that I may have a nice receipt printer set up. If you're going to spend $20,000 on my establishment, I'm going to at least give you a nice presentable receipt as well, and on some nice card stock or whatever it's going to be. And so if that is the case, you can actually reallocate the printing of receipts on a per sale type basis within here to different locations and different printers. Again, we have the icon, as I mentioned here, that will show up and be reflected within the front end if you wish. Also, load image. So within here, you can actually load in other images as well, have them in place of that. And also clear image as well. So I made a mistake. They want to do that, clear it off.